Hey guys, Bendy here. Just got back from a client site and saw something on my Twitter feed asking awesome rope people for some suggestions on increasing flexibility in the shoulders. And I asked if the question was specifically for flexibility or mobility, and the response was both. Because the question was to rope people, I'm going to approach it from a point of mobility, but I first want to make the distinction between flexibility and mobility. So for me, the way I teach and the way that I work, flexibility is a factor of the soft tissues, specifically the muscle tissue and the tendons that attach the muscles to your bones. and muscles that you're probably really aware of that may feel tight or inflexible on you would be your hamstrings, those meaty muscles on the back of your thighs that sometimes when you fold forward or move forward, you'll feel that resistance in that tissue. For rope people, especially us rope bottoms, we're often asked in our bodies to do things with our shoulders like bringing them back, folding them behind us, or even moving into a full strappado, which my arms just don't allow for, where the hands are brought behind. And if the arms can't do that, that sometimes frequently gets characterized as being unflexible, but it's really about the mobility in the joint. So your humerus, your arm bone, has a big ball at the end of it that sits into the shoulder girdle and creates one of the big joints in your body. It's a ball and socket. Theoretically, it should be able to just turn around and around and around and around. But the way these bones here in your shoulder girdle curl and the way the head of the humerus sits into it can sometimes actually create, let's do it from this side so you can see better, it can create compression, meaning you might have all the mobility or the flexibility that you need to do the movement from the perspective of your muscles, but when you ask your bone to go, it hits up against other bone, and that creates compression. So for me, mobility, the ability to move a joint in space and the range of motion in the space is more a factor of that mobility. Thankfully, there's a whole bunch of stuff you can do to increase mobility in the shoulder, and I'm going to show you one thing right now. It's called Unlocking the Shoulders. I want to give a fair warning on this that if you've had shoulder injuries, particularly tears or dislocations, this is definitely something to be careful with. I've separated my right shoulder several times, and so I'm going to show you on my left. And the standard I use for myself is I'll do 2 full breaths on the right. I'll go up to 4 or 5 on my left shoulder. When you're working your breath here, think about finding it all the way into the scapula and the upper back so that you're breathing into this tissue here. Right? The idea to start to relax into that soft tissue so that as you move the humerus out, you're literally creating space. Just like when you hang upside down and your back cracks from that distance that you create between the vertebrae and the disc in between, we're going to create that space in the shoulder. So here's how you do it. Let me make sure I'm at a good angle. So you take your arm and bring it exactly about parallel to the ground like a hammer. So I've got my hand in a fist. Other hand to the bicep, and my pinky is right into the crease of the arm. So I'm going to look forward and draw the shoulder blade down so I can feel that length in my neck. I'll take a deep breath in here. And as I exhale, I'm going to pull forward on my arm, keeping my shoulder where it is. Take another breath in. Exhale, pull. Shoulder injuries, dislocations, separations, that's it. We can also take one more breath in and out. And then let it relax. So as you're doing that movement, you're likely to feel stretching anywhere from the jaw down to the traps and even into the upper back and your scapula as you start literally freeing the shoulders by pulling the humerus forward. This is a movement I would do in preparation for bondage. I don't typically do it like right before I'm getting into rope, certainly not right before a photo shoot. So this would be part of your daily ongoing practice. It's possible to do this too much. I think, a couple times a week is good. See you later.